All right, so what do you do if you're trying to live your happily ever after, but your family hates who you've chosen to live with?
That is the subject of a reality show on OWN, and here to talk about it is relationship expert and host Tracy McMillan. It's family or fiance. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, is this a common issue? I mean, I know you're the guru of relationship experts. Do you find a lot of times the person you love is just not going to mesh with your family of origin?
Absolutely. It happens all the time. And I say Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are the world's most famous episode of Family or Fiance. It's extremely common.
Wow. All right. So how does the show work? The couples actually come to you with their families and you actually have a little time to kind of sort through some of the issues?
Absolutely. So each member of the couple brings 3 members of their family. Everybody lives under the same roof for 3 days. And at the end, there's a blessing ceremony. And my job is to coach the couple into getting the blessings, if that's what's in the highest good. Sometimes the families are like, we do not bless this mess. Other times the families come around and they're like, wow, we didn't understand what a great couple you are. Sometimes the couples get married even though their families are against it. Sometimes they break up. All sorts of things happen. The fascinating thing is that you can identify with the couples or the families. Every episode is someone courageously confronting and unpacking whatever's going on in their relationship or their family.
So it's this high-stakes social experiment. Would you say if a couple really feels they're truly in love, they should ignore the naysaying family? Or are you setting yourself up for trouble in general if you don't have harmony?
Well, there's definitely going to be trouble if you don't have harmony. And maybe it's not such a big deal on the day of the wedding, but it becomes a big deal when there are grandchildren and holidays and over time. That said, sometimes the issue that the family has is a real issue within the couple. And other times the family, there's like a mom who's upset that she's not in first position anymore. So the couple has to really, with my help, understand what's going on and make their own decision about what's best and what's in the highest good for everyone involved. So it could be different in different situations.
So you've obviously been doing this for a long time, giving a lot of relationship advice and things like that. Do you notice, or is there some truth to, like, hey, mom knows best? Maybe mom's seeing something that you're not seeing because you're kind of wrapped up in the newness or the love portion of it?
Absolutely. I mean, that absolutely happens. But other times what'll happen, and this is very common, is that your issues, family knows how to push our buttons because they installed the buttons. So sometimes the mom is dealing with the thing that she created in her own child, right? So it's the cause and the effect in the same house. And going through that process to figure out what's best for this relationship, sometimes couples just need to learn to set boundaries with their parents or their best friends or sisters and brothers. Other times they need to start listening to those people. It's different in every case.
So I can't wait to see how it plays out, because I guess you're gonna see your own family in there. But the bottom line, I think sometimes people always think that every other family has it figured out. And you've been doing this for a really long time. I guess behind closed doors, this is part of being human. There's conflict, there's people's insecurities. This is what relationships are, basically.
Exactly. And I think relationships are about conflict and repair. It's not about having no conflict. It's about learning how to repair. It's about learning how to negotiate. It's about learning how to set boundaries. There are skills involved. And that's kind of what I'm there to do, is identify whether this couple is strong enough to move forward, And oftentimes the family can see things that the couple is unwilling or unable to see.
So on the show, I imagine there's got to be some pretty dramatic times. Can you give us a little example of something we might see?
Well, yes. I mean, a lot of times. So here's a great example. You've got a daughter who was given up by her mother. Her mother's against the marriage. But in order for the mother to get on board with the marriage, they have to resolve their relationship. And that's what becomes evident. You don't know that on day one. On day one, it always looks like one thing. And by day two, it's something else entirely. So, because there are deeper issues underneath every conflict. And my job is to get at what that deeper thing is and then see if we can resolve it. And a lot of times it's just about shining a light on it.
So I'm sure everyone could benefit from having someone like you with their relationship. We only have a minute left, less than that. What's the number one thing you wish people understood? Some free advice to help resolve your conflicts.
All right. The number one thing that you need to understand about relationships is that they are a practice. Love is not a feeling. It's a verb. It's a thing you do. You have to choose to love your partner day in and day out. Also choose to love yourself day in and day out. If you know this, then you don't get rattled when the feeling goes away. That's going to happen sometimes, and then it can come back. It's much more of a wave, an ocean. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But if you're acting in love and taking actions from love, your relationship will stand the test of time.
That's a really great advice. Yeah. I love that. Love is a verb. It's not a feeling. You got to actively love each day. So interesting. Well, thank you so much. We're really excited to see the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and new episodes of Family or Fiance airs Saturdays at 10 p.m. on OWN. And she was amazing. And Tracy also has a great TEDx talk that I'm going to go watch, The Person You Really Need to Marry. And that has about 10 million views. So you can also follow her. She's got some great advice out there.
I like how she said your family knows how to push your buttons because they installed the buttons. Never heard it like that before. It makes a lot of sense.
It's true. And then you wonder as a mom, oh, what button am I putting in there?
I know. We're not doing that.
No,
we're not
of course
doing
not.
That.